Content words and function words in English explained. All the words that exist in every language are categorized into groups, known as parts of speech or, more appropriately, word classes. These include nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositions, etc. Now after words have been assigned to these classes, they are then grouped into two major categories known as content words and function words. Content words are words that express meaning. They are words that do not depend on co-occurrence with other words in order to be meaningful, or express a thought. Now take for instance, the word, John, has a meaning. Yes, it does, because from our knowledge of things, John is a name of a person, typically. Words that belong to the following word classes are recognized as content words: nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. You must also know that the meaning content words express is context-free. That is, their meanings cannot be deduced from context, even as they occur in isolation, meaning, we do not need any context to recognize that the word, John, is a name of a person. John is a noun and every noun is a content word, because they name things. McDonald's, Apple, Mississippi, KFC, Techno, Gucci, all these words are nouns and they express meaning independently, simply because they represent entities. They are signifiers that are used to identify entities, and so they possess inherent meaning, which is why we do not need context for content words to be meaningful. Other content words, for example, verbs, express meaning in isolation because they indicate two main things: action and state of being. The verb, run, does not require a context or co-occurrence with other words to make sense, because it signifies the action of moving from one position to another. The meaning the verb represents is the action of movement. Also, adjectives express meaning in isolation because they indicate qualities, primarily. Take for example, beautiful. The adjective, beautiful, does not require context or co-occurrence with other words to make sense, because it represents the quality of being attractive, admirable or desiring. Adverbs are also content words because, like the others, they can express meaning in isolation. Take for example, quickly. Quickly indicates a degree of movement, that is, a movement that is done with haste. Hence we do not need a context or co-occurrence with other words to understand the meaning of the adverb, quickly. Function words. Function words, unlike content words, are not capable of expressing meaning in isolation. They need to exist side by side with other words, content words, to express meaning. You can as well refer to them as bound words, since they can only make sense when they are bound to other words. Take for example, the conjunction, and does it make any sense to you without context or co-occurrence? The word, and, does not represent any entity and so it is incapable of expressing meaning, or making any sense on its own. It only makes sense when it co-occurs with other words. For example, they ate their food and cleaned the room. In this example, the word, and, assumes meaning by virtue of connecting two sentences together, namely, they ate their food, and cleaned the room. So this just goes to show that while function words lack the ability to express meaning independently, they are not therefore useless. In fact, they play crucial roles in the formation of sentences like the example above. They are also known as grammatical words because of their roles in sentences such as connecting elements of equal status, conjunctions, showing the relationship between words, prepositions, replacing nouns in expressions, pronouns, to mention a few. Examples of prepositions in isolation include in, on, at, with, etc. Examples of pronouns: I, me, we, you, they, etc. None of these are meaningful unless they are considered contextually or co-occurring with other words. Another category of function words is determiners. Examples of determiners include that, some, a, there, those, what, etc. So content words and function words are groupings of words, based on whether or not they are capable of expressing meaning in isolation or not. Content words express meaning in isolation and without depending on context, while function words are incapable of expressing meaning in isolation and so depend on co-occurrence with other words, or context to be meaningful. Both categories are important as they play important roles in the formation of expressions. See you soon.